Mic check 1 2 1 2. It's the Kinflow Podcast. Yeah. It's the Kinflow Podcast. We here to educate. We here to give you game. We here to make you laugh. Deep conversations while we building on this knowledge. Yeah. Keep your head up. Hey. Keep your head up. It's the Kinflow Podcast. We here to educate. We here to give you game. To it, we just gonna jump into it like that. We ain't even gonna play the whole intro. Welcome to the Kinflow Podcast. I'm your host, Big Pound. This is my co-host,
Busy B.
What's up, man? How you been, bro?
Man, can't complain. And if I did, I don't know if anybody want to listen to it. I'm good.
Yeah,
sunny
man.
outside.
Feels amazing outside.
Nature's doing its thing, taking advantage of the weather. Birds chirping, laying eggs, all that good stuff. Squirrels cracking nuts.
Yeah. Man. So, first thing I want to talk about this Cat Williams interview with Joe Rogan, right? And we had a conversation off camera. And just going through all the different social media comments and listening to a few different podcasters, the question I'll propose to you is, why is it so hard for people to believe that a man can read as much as Cat Williams say that he read? When you hear him speak, you can tell he's a well-read man, correct?
I would say so, yes.
I would too. So why do you think, and I know some people agree with him, but I've been hearing a lot of people speaking like reading a lot of books is like unsurmountable. Why do you think that is, bro? What's up with the state of reading in our culture? I mean, what is that? What is that about? What is it about?
Our culture is not cool. It's just not cool. It's just not. It was never a cool thing. Or, well, how we came up, that was my understanding. It just wasn't anything that was cool in nature to be doing. And we just come from a very athletic background, and our mechanics and things of that nature, just, it's kind of like getting a video game and putting it in the game and start playing it. Don't read any instructions.
None of
that. We just got it like that. Just figure it out.
Right.
That's it.
So no red fish, blue fish, green fish, yellow fish.
Hey, if you're sitting still listening to that, you're being forced. That's all it was back in the day. I mean, reading to me, listening to Cat Williams' podcast, I mean, his interview and everything, and he's very articulate. He thinks about everything that he's about to say, because it's obvious he's 10 steps ahead of whatever it is you're about to ask him, or where he might see you trying to go with your questions.
Right.
And for him to say he read that many books, like at my age now, of understanding how important it is to read and get that kind of information, I see the importance. Not that I didn't then, because I wouldn't have my little successes now, but he said he never got a chance to do anything. All he could do was read.
Right.
So 8 hours a day, that's all you're doing. At some point, you become a very fluid reader. So picking up a book from me that has maybe 50 pages, that might take half a day, because it's just gonna have to have my attention. Right. Somebody that's just constantly reading all the time, it's like being in the gym. Man, you're in the gym working out, it's nothing to you. You can just do rep after rep after rep. Right. And I think that's how it is with him. And for people to doubt him, if he's blowing up the numbers a little bit or whatever the case is, at the end of the day, you see the results of him talking about him reading. Very informative person. If he reads like that, like he said, um, it's nothing that he can dive into and download in a day's time when it might take us a few days.
Right.
So he just up on game on that. More power to him. All the haters out there saying he couldn't do it or whatever, I probably was standing in that crowd at one particular second or two, just like, man, come on, 3,000 books.
Well, the analogy
But
I
I
gave
gotta
you,
respect it because I know what it takes when you're on your grind and doing something, and you become more technical when you get past just your own talents, and you really become technical in your skill set. Hey, you know, it's like having a samurai sword cutting bamboo. If you don't have the technique down, you won't cut it right.
right? So
So,
Wilt Chamberlain once said he slept with 1,000 women, right?
mm-hmm,
And I kind of relate this reading situation to that. Like if you're not a person that's interested in reading books, then you're not going to be able to comprehend the number because the number is already blowing you out the water, and it seems like such a again insurmountable feat to read that much. But as somebody that's been put on pause in life, and I just leave it at that, I took a little vacation for 4 years. I read a lot of books. When you got nothing but time,
yeah,
you can knock books out. I mean, and crazy story. You know, Cat Williams said he didn't read like fiction books, so he's not reading like novels, right? He's not
mm-hmm,
reading like he's reading like informational books. When I was on my vacation, right down south, I used to be reading all the time in my cell, right? And
mm-hmm.
I had this one guard, he's making his rounds, he's coming around where he seen me reading like a book, like a self-help type of book. He was like, "No, boy, I don't need you reading trying to get better and better in yourself. I need you reading pimps up, hoes down. I need you to come back. This is job security for me." I know he was joking, but I understood exactly what he was
Wow.
saying. I
Yeah.
understood exactly what he was saying. Like, I'm one of the ones that was using my time wisely to better myself while I was in there. So
Mm-hmm.
I would suggest anybody try to read. It don't even got to be a book, man. It's just reading articles, reading reviewed peer journals. You know all about that. Being an engineer, I mean, all the information is in the books. That's
I
the
always
that,
have
that's
been
the that's the stereotype. That's what they say. That's the joke on us. Like if you want to hide anything from a black person, put it where.
in the book.
So I just kind of want to touch on that. I don't want to stay too long on that, but shout out to Cat Williams. He make me want to read more too. So you know,
Hey, everybody had that goal of, hey, I'm gonna read 10 books in a month or in a week and all that. I think I'll do a lot more reading once I slow down. Because to just pick up a book and be like, okay, let me read this, my mind's not geared for that right now.
right? Yeah,
It just isn't. I'm thinking of multiple other things, and the book is slowing me down.
it's
So
got to be something that you're interested in the first place. It's got to be something that's.
even if I'm interested in it,
No, I'm
I'm,
talking about pertaining to like what your mission is. I
oh
believe
yeah,
you.
yeah,
I believe
definitely,
you'll
definitely.
dig in and read if it's something pertaining to what you got going on.
Oh,
Of
if it's gonna
course,
help enhance, yes, yeah,
yeah,
if it's gonna help enhance the move and how I'm grooving with it, oh, definitely, I'm all over it.
because he was a
But that's only
Jehovah. He
gonna be
was
about 15, 20 minutes, and then I'm putting it down.
he was a Jehovah Witness, so they don't celebrate birthdays, Christmases, or none of that. So again, I think it's well time spent on his behalf. So
Mm-hmm.
you know. So
Yeah.
what else we got going on, man? What else is popping in this crazy world right now?
It's so many things. It's so many things, but you can't put me on the spot there, Chief.
Yes, I can, sir. I'm putting you on the spot. Ain't no. I'm
You
putting
can't put me on the spot,
you
Chief.
in front of everybody, man. I'm putting you on the spot, bruh.
It's a lot of things out there. The one particular thing to speak on.
Oh, I just seen this article. I don't even got it pulled up, but it was Vladimir Putin is threatening the U.S. with nuclear bombs, and he's naming all these different targets that he can hit. Is that fear tactics or what is that?
It's a play.
Of course.
I mean, it's a play. Every
Is he
year,
is he mad because the United States put sanctions on him? Is that what it is? Because of the
no,
sanctions?
right now, I think it has everything to do with Ukraine and interest for United States to make sure that they can stay in the fight. And then, as far as Putin talking, oh, if NATO, excuse me, if NATO keeps doing what they're doing, then he's going to do the ultimate and send these nukes. That kind of kills the whole interest. I guess he's gonna spin the block and crash out. That's how he's talking now.
Man. So do you ever well been in the military as long as you been in the military, that type of stuff really don't bother you because you heard it all, correct?
I wouldn't say it doesn't bother me. It keeps me. It's kind of like if you at home and you check all the doors, they're locked. You lay down. You know your family's there.
Mm-hmm.
Before you were doing that, you had an incident where somebody rattled the doorknob. And ever since then, when you lock the doors and stuff, you sleep. You go ahead and lay down. You know the doors are locked, everything's secure, but it's like you're sleeping with one eye open, one ear listening, and so you sleep, but you don't sleep completely. And when I hear that kind of stuff, that's how it rattles me. Just because, hey, if anything go down, when you really think about it, um, if you can get past the initial phase of when them bombs drop and you make it through that, okay, then it's game on. Other than that, well, you just
Ain't nothing we could do anyway.
yeah,
What can you
yeah, there's nothing you're gonna be able to do. And just think about it. Just think about the people in Gaza. You get put in a situation where everything is shut down, no power, food is scarce, all that in a matter of seconds. Once that happens, and people trying to figure out things, all kind of mayhem, man. So for me, the answer to that, it kind of keep me on the edge of my seat to be ready. You know, it's just you want to be ready as you can be.
right?
I'm not finna, I'm not digging holes and putting cans of beans and stuff like that in the ground, man. That's all good, but
You ain't got no ration packs. You ain't got no
I have a plan. The plan is just unite. That's the only way you're gonna make it. You just solo dolo. Mm, you only have so long. That's how I look at it. You only gonna
right.
have so long.
Speaking of Gaza, man, what is going on over there with Israel and Gaza? Why? When is it gonna stop? When we gonna get some resolution to this, man? Or do you see any resolution to this?
Honestly, no. And I I don't even really care about how a resolution comes from it. I just want the people that's over there suffering to not have to suffer. Just like after they had that was like 112 people that were killed
Mm-hmm.
because of the humanitarian aid that was there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, United States, they're drop shipping humanitarian efforts through the air, right? They're
Yeah, I
dropping
seen
food.
that dropping food from the plane.
Yeah. Um, they might as well continue doing that. To sit there and watch the drone footage of how all these people are just running to the vehicles, and you know, man, that's just that's it's sad, it's pathetic, and I understand what Israel is doing. I understand what Hamas is doing, but I don't understand wow how the Palestinians are being treated the way that they're being treated. Now I do understand that the way they're being treated is very similar to how our ancestors have been treated in the
Mm,
past.
say that.
So the the empathy is there and everything because I mean we've seen it, and at my age I live some of it, and it's just sad. We so far alone, and to just witness this, the younger generation witnessing this kind of chaos, what kind of message does it send to those young people that are seeing this when they're already trying to figure out what's going on within themselves and
Right,
all the other dark clouds that's in front of them? It's
man.
I don't know what to say on it, man.
It's definitely sad. I don't even know what the body count at this point is.
They really don't have an official body count, but it's in the thousands, and that's way too high.
Yeah,
Everything that they've even said about that whole situation has topped all the other wars and battles throughout history, from what they're saying. So, damn, when we gonna stop this crap? I mean, at what point everything is just flipped upside down? Everything is flipped upside down.
man.
You know, I don't even have 2 cents to throw in the pot. Honestly, I don't even really have 2 cents to throw in the pot,
I mean,
man.
what can you do? I mean, it ain't nothing you can do but pray for those people over there. I mean,
Yeah. And speaking of young people, just like the airman that just you know he did that extreme protesting, what he called extreme, and end up burning himself, setting himself on fire.
mm, I heard about that. I
Yeah,
ain't.
I seen that video. And for him to now, if I get burned,
There was a Palestinian
no, he was a United States air.
airman that
He was
set himself on
he
fire.
set himself on fire
Wow, that was his way
in
of
front of the
protesting.
embassy, in front of an embassy. From what I seen in the reports or on the video, that's what they were saying. Now, I just know if I get burned just a little bit, I'm flinching, I'm moving, I'm doing something. That guy, he stood in place, free Palestine, free Palestine, free Palestine, until he just fell over. He didn't go running or anything. He just stood there, let himself burn up.
Man,
Now,
that's cold
to
blooded.
have that type of what I would say intestinal fortitude to just stand on something that you believe in so much into, so you believe this so much that not even fire can change your mind, can to stop what you're doing. You believe it that much. That that was a strong will to stand on something, hoping that it'd make a change. And he was all for it till the end. Some people say he was a hero. Some people say he was this. It was some positives and negatives about it. And this is what I mean when what we're seeing in today's environment and across the world, the impact that it has on the younger generation, is as though just wilding out with no guidance, no understanding, just trying to figure it out on what it is supposed to be. So
Yeah, yeah, man.
I do encourage any young person, don't try to figure it out for everybody else. Figure it out for yourself. Love yourself and just know what it is that you need for you without it harming anybody else. Love is the biggest thing in the world
Yep.
that conquers it all. So always love yourself first.
The world is lacking in love, that's for sure.
Hmm.
Um,
And
man,
that's not even for just the young people. That's for anybody.
yeah, for
Because
sure.
it's some old people that still think they're really young because they have not matured enough to know how to receive love or even give love. And at our age, or anybody that's of that age, should be doing that.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, man. That's heavy right there, bro. It ain't nothing you can really say, man. It ain't. I mean, he was. It sound like. I mean, well, it don't sound like he did believe in what he was protesting to go to setting yourself on fire. But to be honest with you, I don't think that ain't gonna move the needle. They just gonna keep doing what they doing because it's got to be like you always say. You got to move in as a unit. You got to move together to make change. Like,
Yeah.
and I don't know, man. I don't see how anybody stops it. I think America could stop it if they wanted to. I
Oh,
don't.
of course.
I'm not privy to the conversations and the negotiations, but any other time when we want something to stop, we stop it. I know that we got a history of stopping shit, right?
Yeah.
So,
But if we have if we have a relationship and something happens in your on your side of the block where you have to retaliate due to circumstances that people in your circle were hurt or died from, and I come and I tell you you can't do whatever it is that you feel, and you need to have some kind of uh, control about it,
right,
or when you do go do what you do, um, don't act as though you can't take others in consideration of their own livelihood when they didn't do anything. You're not really gonna hear that. You're gonna do what you do, and then some kind of way, I guess I got to figure out how not to just rub you the wrong way into thinking that I'm trying to stop you from handling your business, on what it is that you stand on.
right.
It's I'm not going to say it's tough. It's just the understanding that we'll have something that we go by, and then something might compromise that to a certain degree, and then that's when we really wake up to see how we were going to deal with each other. Yeah, that's it.
Man, damn, bro. Yeah, this situation is downer. It's a downer, bro. I
Yeah,
mean,
I know it, man.
uh, and we
And
talking about it. I
yeah,
mean, a lot of people might not be informed about what's going on. A lot of people might not care about what's going on. But as somebody that keeps up with what's going on around the world, you and I mean, speaking on it is our piece. I mean, far as uh, just dealing with it, really just chopping it up with each other, trying to make some sense out of something that can't be made sense of. I mean, to be honest with you, because
well, you can take this into another category and it still be relevant. You could just look in our own backyard. right now, every time you look up, people being shot. There's more robberies going on, uh, stabbings, beatings, domestic violence,
Mm.
suicides. All these things is prevalent to what's happening over there because you have to look at what's being taken away. What's being taken away over there? Their livelihood, how they wake up every day, not knowing if they're going to even make it.
Right.
The stressors, the anxiety, the hunger, the pain, the grief, all these things that's just been thrown on them. And just to hear that they have to sit and eat bird feed, drink seawater, try to make it as healthy as they can. And God only knows how he's keeping keeping them intact and surviving. Now, when you come over here, you have homelessness, you have people that are depressed, mental instability, people having things, but then don't see that they have anything. People that wake up every day looking normal, but on the inside is just as chaotic as what you see overseas.
Mm-hmm.
Kids bringing guns to school, school curriculums messed up. It's all about just confusion everywhere. Where do you turn your head for some peace? Where do you turn your head for for just some sound good advice to try to make it through the day? I don't know.
You listen to the Kinflow Podcast. That's where you
Yeah, yeah.
start. Yeah.
Hey, I was going right down that road.
You listen to
I was
us.
setting it up. I was
Because
going
one,
right down the road.
just to add into what you're saying, not to cut you off, but
Yeah.
this podcast, we're not gonna do a lot of gimmicky stuff. Like we like the uncles that you come to for advice. We don't have a lot of uh flash and tricks and exposing, and we just try to sit down and have good conversations and cover topics that we care about, that we think we can add something to the conversation. So
Yeah. And
uh,
we're inviting you into the conversation.
we
Just
don't. I mean, I'm not. I'm a regular person. I work a regular job for right now. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not even gonna say I'm regular, but I am regular. Like far as the way you can approach me, if
well,
that makes sense.
I'm not regular. I'm gonna tell you that now. I've been told I'm not regular from so many
Well,
years back. I'm not. It just is what it is.
I'm
I'm not
not regular
regular.
either. If that's the case, I've been told
I'm not regular.
I'm 5150.
Hey, anybody that's regular around here in this world, they the 1%.
Man, I
That's how I
know,
see it.
right? Oh man, you said a lot right there.
They probably locked up, locked down somewhere where nobody can get to see what regular is. You know what I mean?
Right. So what's some you know, when you say people feel alone and people feel like maybe they don't have enough, when you compare what we got going on over here to what the Palestinians are going through over there, that's one way to um like really calibrate and see how much you really do have, because people are, like you said, getting seawater and boiling seawater just to drink, be able to drink some water.
Mm-hmm.
They getting their food thrown to them from planes, or buses is pulling up and everybody's rushing to get whatever rations they can get for their family. So when you look at something like that, you have to look inside and say, "Oh, I'm grateful." I mean, I do every day. Like I talked to you earlier, and I told you, man, I'm just happy to be alive, to be able to work and put points on the board. I mean, that's just
Mm-hmm.
me just looking at the whole picture, because of course everybody want to do better, but sometimes you just gotta be grateful for where you at, and then getting better is gonna come. But you gotta start with where you at the time. You can't, you know, it's always somebody doing worse than you. It's always somebody doing worse, man. And when I see these stories that we talking about right now, I can't complain about nothing. I mean, I can and I will, but in the big scheme of things, we
Or you gonna
still
go to the room next door?
no, we're not going to that room. We're not going to that room.
Go
Hey,
to the room next door.
I'm just saying for anybody that's listening, that anybody that's struggling with like mental health or just trying to make sense of this crazy world. I mean, like my kinfolk was saying, you just gotta look internally for that strength that you're looking for. If you believe in God or whoever you believe in, just trying to center yourself around that, and that word love is real, and it starts with yourself. Because if you don't love yourself, you can't really love nobody else. So
Yeah.
yeah, um,
And I'd say this to that when it comes to the mental health. Um, Everybody don't have the resources or the know how or the know what to do type kind of thing when it comes to getting in a depressive state of mind set and um, just wanting to have someone there to listen to you, or you're just trying to understand things and you just get to a point where it's like, oh man, just don't want to do nothing no more, or whatever that is. Just know this: come to the Kinflow Podcast, tap into us. We'll be a listening ear, no judgment. We're here to help to the best of our ability. We'll get through it together. We'll take one step at a time, and we will look, laugh, and live and love on. That's what we're gonna do. So don't excuse me, don't be afraid to tap in to our channel, leave a message, um, so we can get back to you. I don't care who it is.
and and to add to that, even past that, you gotta have at least one person that you can call anytime, and they balance you out. Not when you talk to them, you feel pressure or you feel um, like you more being tolerated. Like me, I call my cousin that you see on the other side of the screen. I call him because I know when I call, I'm going to get balance and I'm going to get a non-judgment conversation out of him, no matter what we talking about. It's never went any other way. I mean, so you got to at least try to find you somebody that you trust, that's close to you, that you can conversate with from time to time, even if it's just to vent a little bit. I mean, you can't vent
Hmm.
to everybody because everybody can't take it, and
That's right.
some people, they're gonna try to overshadow you with what they're going through. So you got to find the right person. It can't be anybody. So again, you can tap in. We've been through it. He's been through it. I've been through it. Um, like I said, we're not walking on the red carpet. Like, we're open to talking, discussing, uh, trying to be a help to anybody that, if you got questions or anything like that, we here for that. That's what this is about. It's about building and, man, just
That's
trying
it.
to be different than what the norm is. Because again, we're not beefing with anybody. We're not. Ain't no tricks. Ain't no exposing. Ain't none of that. It's not gonna be none of that. We too deep in the game, far as the game of life, to even entertain anything like that. So you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Besides, if I'm to have a beef with anybody, it's gonna be me, myself, and I.
Yeah. I beef with him every day. I really
Yes.
do. Every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, we beefing right now. See, he was trying to tell me, nah, man, just do it tomorrow.
That's
But
it. And so, hey, and check this out. Anybody that does, for those that do want to check in, it's like this. Check in with the understanding that You checking in for lending ear, for inspiration, for motivation. These are the things that you checking in for. You're not just checking in and don't have an idea. You checking in for a reason. And those three things that I just named off are three good reasons to get you going in a good direction to check yourself. Because see, it's one thing to do things and not be accountable. We're gonna hold you accountable at the end of the day. Not gonna judge you, but whenever you share whatever it is that you share, just understand if you're talking to Busy B, uh, you're gonna be accountable for whatever it is that you talk on. That's just
Definitely,
what it is. You
definitely,
have to. That's how
definitely.
you get to know yourself.
He definitely gonna make you accountable for sure. I promise you. Yeah,
Hey,
man.
that's just what we do. We want to it's we want to have a loving relationship, an understanding relationship, a relationship that gives. Because when you understand how that works, then you're willing and able to do just the same. It's not that you're gonna be that way in the beginning if you're not already that way. It's about getting an understanding so that you know that it's not about other people. It's all about you. Because whatever you didn't went through, and that's something that you can share with the next person.
Right.
Whatever we've gone through, that's why we're opening our arms up now to say, hey, we want to share our experiences, our knowledge, our wisdom with you because we might be able to say something or tell you something or give some kind of advice that opens that door for you to continue on and believing in what it was that you may not have believed in before,
All the
knowing that you
possibilities.
couldn't, now
Yeah.
that you can.
Yep. All them possibilities, man.
Yes.
Cause I promise you, 2 years ago I couldn't see right now. I couldn't see it. I was in such a dark place. But man, cuz came through like perfect timing, like just with words. It's just, man, life is hard. Anybody that say life is easy is not. It's not easy. It takes work, just like anything takes work to get
Yeah.
through it. So we here working on ourselves. We here to help anybody else. We live 4 decades. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah, that's the
Hey,
service announcement for right now. That's
hey,
it.
hey, and on that note of me talking about inspiration and everything, I'm gonna share this. I was talking to this this young lady that was trying to sell me uh item for my truck. It was like, what was that? Anyway, trying to sell me this device for my truck and everything. And we got into it having a conversation and everything, and just with words, she was inspired to want to work out more than what she intended or even seen herself working out to the point of what she's doing now. And my words encouraged her, and her words encouraged me to inspire me to get into more speaking on working out. So that's going to be something that's going to be added into this podcast of just, hey, those that want to work out or just need that extra motivation to push you a little bit more, well, you're going to tap in to Busy B, Big Pound, and we're going to get you on the ground running, making
Well,
things do what it do.
he definitely, he used to be a little mini Arnold Schwarzenegger bodybuilder, so he definitely could get you right. He definitely could get you right. So, but yeah, man. Even with that, even with the workout stuff, he's personal experience. Like I said, this is the person. This is my partner on the podcast, but this is my cousin. But it's also just not my cousin. He's like a mentor to me. I mean, so even with the workout stuff, I've been doing workout. I've been implementing more and more and more just through words, man. So I know it's possible. I know you just sometimes you need that extra voice, just reinforcing what you know you should already do. So holler at us, man. DM, message, leave a comment, and we'll answer. You know,
That's what
so
it's about.
uh, but yeah, man, that was terrific. We gotta break that up though, man. We gotta come on, man. Come on, man. Oh, speaking of him, right? It turns Howard. Once you start speaking out to change subjects real quick, once you start speaking out against the powers that be, they start coming at you all kind of ways. So now the IRS is coming after him for like $1 million in taxes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how you know that you've been saying something. He's known. He's well known in the acting world. So just like a lot of people that came before him, Red Fox and Wesley Snipes, the most notable people, he got to deal with the tax problem. So I wish him the best on that. I hope he can get everything lined up and straight because $1 million is a lot of money.
Yep. Hey, and check this out. Uh, if you stay up on your taxes, you won't have to worry about your taxes.
Yeah, no doubt. But
Hey,
ain't no way,
he's very smart person.
ain't no
But
way. Listen. Them 3-letter boys, all of them. You don't mess with none of the 3-letter boys.
no,
The IRS, the DEA, the FBI, the CIA. You don't mess with none of those. The 3-letter boys.
they gonna make sure they do their homework.
Yeah.
Tell you
So,
that.
man, anything else?
Anything else?
Yeah, that you wanted to
Well,
talk as far as inspiration. Like we was on this whole inspiration thing. You was telling me about the young lady.
yeah.
Um,
Well,
oh, I'm
eh,
sorry. Go ahead.
hopefully, she see this and reach out or whatever, and we can continue on and see how her progress is. She can tap in and share that experience that she's going through, and that'll be cool.
I
Uh,
want to tell. I want to tell. Um, I won't just say young people because I don't want to just say like I'm aiming it at young people because people our age do it too. Uh, we get caught up so much into what something looks like, right? Like what it looked like what does he look like, what does she look like? I mean, sometimes, man, if you just stay balanced in your thinking and do the first thing that you should do when you meet somebody, being courteous, you never know what book of knowledge you're gonna come across and what somebody could tell you. But if you're already prejudging somebody like they beneath you, you will never get a chance to even open that book to find out if that person has anything to offer in the first place. So I would say just don't be quick to judge people by outside appearances because they can be deceiving. I know everybody heard the old adage, never judge a book by its cover. It's true. It's absolutely 100 positively true. Don't judge a book by its cover. You need to crack the book open and see what the book is saying to you. Because
well, you don't
everybody,
have enough time.
I'm just saying, like, just on a basic level, everybody's not running around with chains and jewelry on. Everybody don't have Rolex watches. Everybody's not driving the flyest cars. Everybody don't have a Tesla. Everybody's not just balling like that. But that don't mean that people don't have things that they can offer you through their failures or their successes.
Everybody don't have a iPhone.
I ain't tripping on no iPhone at all.
If you don't have no iPhone, I
iPhone,
can't talk to you.
man, what in the Sam hell? Is that the most retarded shit you ever heard in your life, bro?
Uh, what what
And I love
what a
Apple products. Don't get me
what
wrong.
a phone do for a person's personality? I don't. Well, maybe they download apps for their personality.
Man,
I don't know. A phone is a phone. It's just an instrument to be used. That's it.
that's it.
For any of those that are superficial or materialistic things of that nature, hey, whatever floats your boat, so be it. But when you put yourself in an environment where it's not of that nature, adapt and overcome and be open to the situation. That way, you have no problems, you have no worries. Then, when you get back into the fake world of what you're already accustomed to,
Mm-hmm.
then continue on your business. See, we have to know how to move and adjust and modify, not even modify, but just adjust to what kind of circumstance you end up being in. You don't bring your own ways into something that's already established to the point where it ruffles the feathers or create ripples in something that's already what it is. Just adapt to it. And then if you don't like it, just step away from it.
Yeah,
You know,
for sure. I
that,
agree.
you'll live a whole lot better just taking that approach instead of frustrating yourself thinking that, well, how come you can't be like this? Well, man, I have an iPhone, you have a Android. I don't know why. Well, you have an iPhone and you live in a suburban area, and you over here and you judging people because they have Androids and not able to have an iPhone probably. Well, now they're gonna hit you upside the head, take your iPhone, and now you're gonna leave, have to go get another one, but now they have an iPhone.
Man,
That
that
that that
iPhone shit
that's
is
a
the
tacky
crazy,
joke, but I was just
bro.
trying
That's
to
the
make light of
that's the craziest shit in the world, bro. I mean, um, nothing against Apple. You know, love their products,
it. No, it's all good.
love their innovation, but I mean, there's nothing you can do on an iPhone that you can't do on an Android. And I'm not even trying to turn this into an Android versus Apple conversation, but if you look at the specs and you look at the features, you're not gonna find a difference, bro. You're not gonna find a difference. Oh, you got 4 camera lenses on yours. I only got 3. Oh man. Oh man.
Yeah, pretty much.
You got FaceTime. I got Messenger, Skype. There's nothing Microsoft Teams. I mean, it ain't. I don't get it, man. I don't. And to each his own. But that shit don't mean anything. I'd rather buy some Apple stock and sit on it. That's
And have
that's
an
what.
Android phone.
Yeah, and have my Android phone. Yeah. So yeah, man.
It's funny though. It's just funny how we roll, how the world rocks.
It is.
It's you put so much meaning into these little small things, and these little small things that you put the meaning into is really distractions to the energy and effort that you should be putting into the small things that make you what you are. That's crazy.
Let's see. Let me see, bro. Can you see that? Can't see
No.
it. Let me see. You can see that though, right?
Yeah.
All right. So you remember me telling you about this story right here?
Hmm.
So the U.S. Army conducted the largest execution of its own black soldiers. Their grave sites are finally getting proper headstones over a century later. Let me read this story. On December 11th, 1917, an army trail led to the hanging of 19 black soldiers, which is considered to be the single largest mass execution of American soldiers by the Army. And as you can see on my screen here, the soldiers right here. I ain't gonna read all of this. I'm gonna kind of skim through it. Um, who did these graves belong to? The members of the 3rd Battalion, 24th Infantry Regiment, an all-black unit known as the Buffalo Soldiers, who were hung on December 11th, 1917, which is considered to be the single largest mass execution of American soldiers by the Army. Um, da, da, da. The Buffalo Soldiers had been assigned to guard white soldiers preparing for deployment to Europe as the Equal Justice Initiative cities, but from the beginning of their assignment at Camp Logan, because you know where that's at, Camp Logan?
Mm-mm.
The black soldiers were harassed and abused by Houston police. When the soldiers armed themselves to confront the Houston police after a series of police abuses, a mob of armed white men challenged them, leading to 20 deaths. No white civilians were ever brought to trial, while 110 black soldiers were tried and convicted. 19 of them were hung. So just to take it back to what we was talking about earlier about Gaza and Palestine and the correlation to what goes on in America. As you can see, man, it's a lot of skeletons in the closet of this nation. It's a
Oh
lot.
yeah, and always will be.
This is just one example uh, of
Deal with my chair. Man.
of the way that things get handled, or the way things used to get handled in this country. Because I don't think that they could do that today. I don't think it would turn out like that. I really don't.
Yeah, it's a different kind of beast nowadays. It's a different kind of beast.
So when people say that uh, melanated people, we haven't sacrificed. We done sacrificed more than anybody that's on this landmass, hands down. Um, it just makes me think of all our people that served in the military, yourself included. Made me think about my pops, my uncles. I
Yeah.
mean, what they was probably going through in the 50s and the 60s. You know, even though they was the most patriotic by going and fighting, you come back home only to find out that you're still a guest, right? You still not treated with the dignity and the respect that you should be getting treated with. Um, so luckily today things have advanced. We don't know how much they have advanced, but I can't look at you and say they have advanced because
Yeah.
you can get more out of the system than you used to be able to get out of the system. So
And
uh,
it's always advancing too because I've been what I was in the military for almost 3 decades,
mhm,
and I'd say every 2 to about every 3 years, it was a advancement going forward throughout that whole time.
right.
So it's always evolving into something newer to a certain degree on most levels, but on some levels it's still I don't know, kind of like the elephant in the room type kind of thing. But that's okay. That's okay.
But what do you when you hear a story like that? What's the first thing that comes to your head, Kinfolk?
A story like what you just read,
Mm-hmm.
for me, a story that I don't want to hear. just because.
So I'm killing
I'm
the
sorry about
podcast.
that.
So I'm killing the
No, you're
podcast.
not. No, you're just asking me. I'm a. I'll speak on anything, but you're asking me, and it's coming from a place of growing up in that era where it was, that kind of thing was still happening. I mean, literally happening
Right.
in my hometown.
Right.
And then being treated like that. I mean, I got treated, when it comes to racism and all that kind of stuff. I dealt with that a lot of times. But for me, at this point, the reason I say it's not really anything I care to that I care about to that nature, because I see that, we've talked before, and I'll say, yeah, it's plays being made, you know,
Mm-hmm.
it's plays being made. And at this point, it's plays being made in the old plays that's still trying to be relevant, that they're still trying to make relevant, so that the new ones still understand a certain play, while the old ones know the play and go a different way or handle it a different way. And that's messing up the game. So, it's still trying to make some old plays relevant in a new way. And it's a joke now to me. And it's not even that, they use this word racist or racism, when it's a lot of bigots in this world.
Yeah.
It's a lot of bigots. And who isn't a bigot at some point in time, if you old enough to hold a job down, to have kids, to think one way and be another way, to not like somebody just for how they may look or how they may act. It's bigots all over this place. But we throw this racism on things. But as you look at this world, it's a melting pot in itself. Everybody mixed with something, but we hold on to what we hold on to have some kind of identification. But there's a lot of bigots in this world.
Man, it
So,
is.
and with that being said, you have the right to be that, but don't go stepping in somebody's yard and taking a dump over in their yard. Stay in your own.
For
Just stay in
sure.
your own.
For sure.
And see, I know I'm getting I'm starting to I see that I'm becoming like a bottle of wine, fine wine, because as I age, the filter and
So you
the
find one, huh? Pause.
hey hey, I'm a handsome old man. That's how I look at it.
For sure. Uh,
But I'm just saying all that to say that my my view on life and my experiences in life have opened my eyes so much to where it's a lot of things that are being made as though it's really relevant and important to know or to be, when actually it's not, because it takes away from a person knowing what kind of character they have, what kind of values, the morals, these kinds of things that they should be paying attention to and understanding by the way they act and treat people, and being distracted with all this superficial stuff,
man,
that they become less than more than. And you need to be more than in order to help others become more than. But it's just so, like I
Mel,
said, come to Kinflow Podcast and get you some of this good flavored Kool-Aid, because this is how we're going down with little oxtails and collard greens too.
well, I hate to do this. I got one more dark story, but then we're gonna end it with something good. But This is might make you throw up, Kinfolk. This story right here might make you throw up. So you ain't got too much in your stomach or nothing, right?
Y'all
So
see what he doing to me, right?
what?
You,
What am
you
I?
people out there, you see what he's doing to me.
I'm
You
just
see,
saying. This
I,
is
you see how he? Okay, go ahead, go
this
ahead.
shit is man. Can you see that right there?
Yeah.
All right, this is a story from 2024, January 23rd. We have a man trying to romance his own daughter before going on a rage-filled shooting spree. And the story says a Florida man sprawled into a murderous rage after he tried to pursue a romantic relationship with his 17-year-old daughter, fatally shooting a woman and injuring his mother and the teen, authorities said. Michael Banks, 42, shot and killed his mother's friend, injured his mother, and hurt his 17-year-old daughter in a fit of rage at the family's Tampa home on Wednesday, police said. Uh, Banks insisted that his family tried to stop his romantic pursuit of his own daughter, opened fired on officers who were responding to gunfire. Uh, Police returned fire but did not hit Banks before he surrendered and was taken into custody. And this is the picture of the dude right here.
I don't understand that suit.
He probably was spitting, and it's probably one of them crazy suits where they just
But
it's
it's a
it's like
how's
padded. I think it's like padded or something like that. But
is that like bulletproof?
maybe um, you heard what I said about the story. Just like all of these stories where people mess with kids and stuff, it's not going to be good for him in prison population. So he's going
Oh,
he's going to get justice
I'm sorry.
one way or another. Um, I just that story caught my eye because I just couldn't imagine a dude you trying to have a romantic relationship with your own people. That's sick, bro. That's sick. And
That
yeah,
is. That reminds me. I seen. I think it was this morning or yesterday, and I wish I could save that article. But anyway, it had reference about creating a a, a child doll for pedophiles.
yeah, I heard something about that.
I mean, that in itself to me says that no one wants to be accountable for anything that they do.
Mm,
No one wants to be in a position where they're not winning. Just like you go take your kids to you put them in a sport and everybody gets a trophy.
mm-hmm,
No, that's a lie. It's only first place, second place, third place. No, this isn't electricity. You can't hook everybody up in parallel and get the same
mm.
voltage. It's not that. We cannot have that. It's one person in front of the other. What? And then if you side by side, that means you working together to accomplish something as a whole unit, and then that result is for the whole group of people or that unit. Uh, Again, so many smoke screens, so much confusion. We fixated on words to the point they make us what we are. When if you understand your character, you'll develop the right word for what you are and be more accepted to when someone approaches you and say whatever they say to you about you. See, we scared to face ourselves. But when we look in that mirror and you see what it is that you don't like, and
Mm.
you turn the light off and then try to turn it back on as though it disappeared, it's within. You can keep turning the light on and off all you want. It's within, and just face it. It's okay. That's all I'm saying. It's okay to not be the best you, because if you haven't worked on you, what makes you think you're just going to be perfect? Work on something about you. And regardless of what somebody says, it doesn't matter what they say because they're not in you. Stop relying on someone else to tell you how you are. If you know you have a messed up thought process, then following the line of things that is going to be positive for you, that addresses how you come to those kind of thoughts, those kind of having that kind of process and instability in your head. You know, we don't all have the answers, but minds together against one, I'm sure, can come up with something that will be more beneficial. That's why I'm saying, come to Kinflow Podcast, tap in with us, and we'll figure it out together. We don't want to leave you behind. We don't want to put you out in front. We don't want you to follow on the side. We hear it all together. That's the bottom line of it.
For
And
sure,
this insane type kind of behavior
man.
is not going away. It seems like it's growing
More
out of
and more.
control more and more. And with social media, internet, all these kinds of things, yeah, you can see stuff more so than you could back in the day. It could be covered up. But since it's being exposed,
I think it's worse though. Even though
well,
we
I think
didn't,
it's worse too.
because I feel like it got worse 20 years ago when they started taking God and prayer out of school. Like,
Hmm.
I mean, and that's part of the plan. It's already written, right? It's already pretty much documented how it's gonna go. But that's why I say, man, you gotta stay balanced. You gotta stay rooted in something good. Whatever your choice of what's good. We're not here to preach any kind of doctrine or anything like that. But anybody can tell what's good and anybody can tell what's bad pretty much without it being explained. My daughter, when I slip up and say a cuss word around my daughter, she corrects me. And she says that tip jar, a swear jar. But yeah, man, it's I just wanted to bring it up just to show people the tempo, like the temperature of what's going on out here, man. That's just one story, and I'm not gonna show any more stories like that because it's not necessary at this point in time. But that's what we got going on out here. Like you said, it's a bunch of people that's pretty much moving off of impulse. What you say, like impulse type of
Hmm.
actions, just doing any and everything, and
Without any accountability. If when people become accountable for what it is that they do, it does slow down the actions. It slows down the thought process to the point of you're thinking about what you're actually getting ready to get into, and because it hurts when you have to discipline yourself.
right.
It hurts, and you don't want to. That's why you just want to do things and point the finger at somebody else. Oh no, it's your fault. Oh no, you did that. You made me this way. You made me that way. No, you have a choice. You're grown.
But I will say this, man. One thing is for certain that 17-year-old girl, his daughter, she gonna have to get some help for this, man. Like,
Oh yes.
and and we send our prayers to that young lady. They didn't name her in the article or whatever, but just to know that her life is forever changed behind that is kind of, you know, it's a thing, man. She's gonna have to get help, so I hope she gets the help that she needs, and man, it's you know, but
Yeah.
yeah. Hold on, man. We got to break that up for a second. We got. Hey, yo. And we back. I just had to get there. I had to clean that off the spirit real quick, man. That's
okay.
I mean, but our last story we're gonna bring y'all is this. It's a sports story, but it's this boxer that you didn't get a chance to look at the article, did you?
No.
So this is gonna be your first time seeing it. So fair use, y'all. YouTube, don't send me no strike. We just gonna look at a little bit of this just to critique it. Fair use. So check them out, Kinflow.
I'm destined to be a superstar.
Ben Whittaker.
The man they call the surgeon.
Well, that was medieval surgery.
He is Ben Whittaker.
No doubt, he's a talent.
Look at the speed. Look at the showmanship. Look at the dancing.
Oh, baby. Woo!
Some might say it's exactly what boxing needs.
Here's Ben.
See that boy? You see that boy?
Oh, he makes it look easy. No, I'll make it look easy because I work so hard.
Madness. Let me see if I can skip.
It's an exciting time. There's massive expectations of him, but it's I think he likes the expectations, he likes the pressure, he likes the hype.
And he's showboating within 30 seconds of his debut, Tash. Winding up his punches, and O'Neill doesn't know where they're coming from. Whittaker playing to the crowd, and this is what we're going to get with him. The word Marmite has been mentioned time and again in the build-up. You're going to love him, you're going to hate him, you're going to watch him. Slippery skills of Whittaker, in and out, the razzle-dazzle. Well, I think in the opening 3 minutes, we've seen a bit of everything we're going to get from Whittaker already. Look at this. Incredible stuff. And it was a big shot to get his signature for Ben Shalom. And he's first on his feet. And that punch from Whittaker is a sickener and a finisher at the start of the second.
People at ringside. Grant is not going to be distracted by any of that.
Why that boy hopping on one leg in the
foot
fight,
there? And I don't think they're really going to be able to control this, the training team. This is how he's going to choose to do things. He's just that kind of a character. Again, Whittaker just engaging with somebody in the crowd here as we enter the final stages of the first round. Leading off with that right hand.
I think it's Johnny who's shouting.
Nice 1-2 there from Whittaker, and then just steps off.
He got almost
right
like that.
Ready to go. Huge right hand from Whittaker, who begins to dance as Grant gets back to his feet pretty quickly there.
Let me skip through this. On
the corner,
but
the hands are quick here. They're nice and busy from Whittaker. A little wiggle of the shoulders there from Whittaker.
Any slight confidence, albeit possibly even false confidence, that Beluski may have had, has been knocked out of him already.
Lee lets uppercut there from Whittaker, rocks him onto his heels there, Beluski, and then he paused Whittaker to encourage the crowd at right-hand lead, and this is difficult for Beluski. He's got to try and ignore all of that and just stick to the tackle. Whittaker just looking at the ring, takes a walk up to his left-hand side. Beluski, I think he feels he's safe as the bell goes. Just inching in with that front foot. Right hand to the body, dips those knees, throws the right hand to the body. Already in this round, though, he looks to me like he's getting those feet just a little bit closer. Doubling up on the left hand to the body as instructed. Then turned it into a screw shot, then a right hand down the middle. That was neat. And Beluski in a little bit of trouble here, goes down in a heap. And the referee, his hands go now, final few seconds. He looked rocked there briefly, Beluski, and Whittaker just mocking him slightly. Well, that's a strong right hand there, though. They caught him as he was coming forward, and Whittaker knows that he could be on for the finish here, but he had a good 3-4 seconds there Left hand there for Whittaker, and the referee has jumped.
Yeah, I would like to see
and then the
him
left hook off the
really
back of
fight
it.
So it's a good start from Ben.
some more skilled fighters.
Right.
Still be
Ben,
doing all
here he
that.
goes. Here he goes.
This is what you get from Ben Whittaker, looking for that long right hand. More orthodox now again, looking for that long right, landed it. Didn't have any great effect on Dreadeye.
Now you can tell these guys have been in the ring together before. You know, you can feel the familiarity.
Right.
Throws a right hand and then just moves off to the right hand side.
Ben's something else, man.
That's the
He
boy
is
bloody
something
though.
else.
Nah.
Whittaker
That's the
will be
boy
looking to do
bloody.
exactly that. Looking outside of the ring. He's got his man in trouble here and he needs to capitalise on it rather than speaking to people outside of the ring.
Fighting amateurs or something?
We call that a three-piece combo
Just that good.
with some wings. That was like
He need to come to
burger,
America.
chips, and a Coke. But he's very peripheral vision. He's very good reflexes. He's not easy to catch clean. You can't even land. You can't catch them. It's very demoralising.
Well, Whittaker is going to get told off for that. He stood up tall and he just maybe just riling Gravia up a little bit here. He's setting his feet and looking to let his hands go, but that could suit Ben Whittaker possibly.
But again, he's just kind of goading him here, embarrassing him. And
he has had his own successes, just obviously not enough. That was a great body shot from Whittaker and he felt that his hand struck immediately.
Gravia in a little bit of trouble here, backed up to the corner, sinks down onto the bottom rope. Ben Whittaker provides.
What you think about Ben Whittaker?
He's entertaining.
Yeah,
He's
definitely.
entertaining.
How you think he would fare against somebody, one of the American fighters? You think he could do that same shit against
now,
like
Sweet Pea, Sweet Pea Whittaker.
Yeah, Sweet Pea, but
he was very elusive.
Yeah, but he wasn't. I'm saying, you think he stands up to fighters in America like that? You think he could get away with, like, say, a Terrence Crawford or a Tank Davis or Earl Spence? You don't think he'll turn his back like that?
No. They would have his attention a little bit better than what he got right there, because they pretty quick and can follow along too.
Man,
I'd just like to see him, fight some more
skillful fighters.
Yeah.
You don't think those was the ones in the ring against him?
Man, he knocking at croissants and crepes.
The boy had that drunken master, like, you see him?
Yeah, he got it down. When you asked me earlier, had I heard of him, I didn't know that was his name, but I've seen him in another video where he was even more animated in his boxing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You remember Prince Hassim? What was his name? He didn't last too long. He started getting knocked out. Back when Tyson was the champ, he was like a lightweight. He was real light, but he used to do like flips in the ring and all that. I'm not sure where he was from, but he used to kind of do all that type of stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. I thought it was interesting. I thought it was dope to see a nigga dancing in the ring.
No, like I say, it's very entertaining to get out there and do that and have them skills like that. Yeah.
But if you could do it against top-notch competition, then you own to something, though, because you definitely gonna be a box office draw. So, but yeah, man. I just had to flush everything out with that because, yeah, man. So yeah, man, it's been real.
Yeah, I'm finna do the real deal and hit them sheets. That's what I'm about to do.
Yeah, I know. It's grind mode. It's a Monday. I already know.
Yes, sir. Straight up.
But yeah, man. You finna say something?
I got a news break on my phone and saying that NATO. Let me see if it'll come up here real quick. NATO launches biggest ever war game exercise on Vladimir Putin's doorstep with 20,000 troops.
War games, huh? They playing games. They doing exercises. Okay.
All right. Like I say, man, it's a play. It's a play, man. Every year we hear the same thing. And if you match it up with the presidents at the time, as in the games that are being played, either it's going to be subtle or it might get a little bit more interesting. But just like with Trump, he got the shoes, the golden shoes, little chaotic court stuff going on, indictments. So why not have these crazy war games going on too? Shoot. Who knows?
Man. Speaking of shoes, do you like those shoes? Those Trump sneakers? Did you see them? Would you wear those? Excuse me.
I don't even know why you would ask me that.
You wouldn't wear the Trump Jordans?
Nope. Do you know how much they cost?
Yeah, that get me out the running right there.
$400, right?
Yeah, I'm out the running.
$400, and he sold I think what, 1 million sales?
They only made 1,000 of them.
They only made 1,000?
Yeah, they reselling them for like $2,000 and $3,000 right now.
Dang.
Yeah, he only made 1,000 pair.
No, I thought he made I just know that when they said he made a nice little chunk of change off of them because they sold out as soon as he put them out.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Say what you want to leave the people with, man, before we get up out of here, bro.
Oh, excuse me. I can drop some. I would say this, and y'all got to forgive me, but I'm a up and coming actor, so every now and then I act out things. And up and coming comedian, up and coming motivational speaker, up and coming MC, up and coming just whatever my imagination is at the time. I'm gonna say this, man. I just want to lead this to the young people out there in the world. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Don't be so hard on yourself, because it's okay. If you sit around, because I had this conversation with one of my little cousins, and he was telling me how, he had this plan. And then when I put him on the spot and I said, well, okay, well, tell me your plan. That's a good question. I ain't really figured that part out yet, but I got a plan. I said, okay, stop fooling yourself. This is time when you look in the mirror and do a self-reflection of conversations you even having with yourself. You can't even lie to yourself that good. So stop it. If you're going to have a plan, have a plan. Stop walking around with all your buddies. Y'all talk about all these different things, and you're not even implementing one thing in the whole conversation that you're talking about. Okay? So it's okay if you don't make it all the way. It's okay if you fail along the way. It's okay if you don't have all the answers. Just get them. Make something happen. Don't rely on people to tell you things. And that's where we have a bad thing. I know in our Black community, we rather somebody tell us before we just find out for ourselves. Somebody can tell me how I am or what I do or where I need to go before I just get into getting that information myself.
For sure.
Let's get out of that and let's be accountable. That's my word for the day. Accountable. Let's just be accountable for what you say and what you do. Because if you talk a lot and then you start holding yourself accountable, I guarantee you're gonna shut up. Because you don't want to have to be accountable for all these things that you're saying. It just sounds good, and it could be, it's funny. So, hey, my busy bee word for the day is being accountable. Accountable for you in your actions.
For sure. And my word for the day is subscribe, like, share.
Already.
Till next time, y'all. We out. Hey. Yo. Mic check 1 2 1 2. It's the Kinflow Podcast. Yeah. It's the Kinflow Podcast. We here to educate. We here to give you game. We here to make you laugh. Deep conversations while we building on this knowledge. Yeah. Keep your head up. Hey. Keep your head up. It's the Kinflow Podcast. We here to